Well, I guess the first thing I've got to do is take that top trim off. And lots of times the trim might have some set screws in it somewhere, or some little trim screws down here that you loosen up to pull this down. I don't see anything here. I'm not feeling anything. I have no idea how old this ceiling fan is. It could be 20 years old, but I think there's probably some little grooves up here where you take this and you have to twist it, you know, to the left or to the right. So I've not done this yet, and I always like to show you what I'm doing. Oh, okay, here's a top trim piece. I think maybe it's just that. I don't know. Looks like it's loose a little bit, and it probably snaps somehow. Here, I feel it. I feel something there. I think it's gonna come. It's probably, this thing probably snaps on there somehow. Jeez. Try not to mess up the ceiling. Okay. Maybe I have to just take this inside bit down first. It seems like it wants to go. I think this top thing snaps up over it. I'd have to take a screwdriver to it or something. Okay, well, play with it a little bit. I don't want to waste too much time on the video here. I'll get it. I'll keep working at it. Don't you worry about that. All right, let's try it again. This top trim is separate from here. I was trying to unloosen it. Unloosen. You know what unloosen means? That means tighten. I was trying to loosen it to the left. I just go to the right, and look at that. It slides right over. There's some little goodies in there, and now there's some screws up here. One there, and one on the other side apparently, that it looks like I'm going to have to loosen up. Maybe just a little with a Phillips screwdriver. And all that's going to do is loosen up that top housing. Okay? I'm going to hope that I don't have to take those screws all the way off. I might have to though. Yeah, it looks like I might have to. Because it doesn't want to. Oh, there it goes. Okay. There it is. There's our little goodie, our little transformer. See that? It slips in there, and usually all ceiling fans have enough room to fit this module in there. That little black thing that was hanging out the back side, I was looking at that, and that must be the little antenna type thing. I don't think you have to have that showing like that. And I'll look at this a little bit more closely. Here's a ground wire that a cap came off it, and there's no wire nut on that. But before I start messing with this, make sure your power's off. And funny thing is, this particular ceiling fan, again, is only hot up at the ceiling. So I'm going to turn this light on and take this back a little bit. Now see, usually you can find a wall switch somewhere that activates that. There's two wall switches there. That's for two different things. And then over here, there's two wall switches. And one wall switch is for the kitchen. And this one here, as far as I can tell, does nothing. So there might be a wire nut that's missing in there. This light switch might be for something else. It might be a bad light switch. It could be anything like that. I'm not going to mess with that. What I'm going to do is find the sub panel, and there's a little sub panel usually in your house, your condo, your apartment, or it's outside, and I'm going to find that, and I'm going to flip a couple breakers because I want that power off. I don't want to mess with any hot wires up here. Okay, whatever you do, don't mess with hot wires. Okay, so I know, you know, if that was controlled by a light switch, let's say, then you could just turn that off, and then there's no power. There generally is no power up there at that point. Then you can disconnect all those wires. Okay, so that's my next step, going to the breaker box, and I'm going to flip breakers until this light goes off. Now I found the breaker, and I've got that off now, so I can get back up here. I look at this module, and before I start taking it out, I can kind of take a quick look-see on here and see which wires are coming up from the ceiling fan, you know, up through the extension. So I got a black and a blue line. Here's a white one. And I see where those are coming out from this side of this module. Okay? And then from the other side of the module is a black and white, and I know those go directly up, and that's the power that goes right up. This wire nut already, this one came right off. It was hardly hooked up at all. And I can take that one off. And that, the inside of the wire nut actually came off. I'm going to put that back inside the wire nut. See if I can't reuse that another time. Okay, so I know this side here, see it says AC in, AC in. Okay, I know that's the power coming in. So inside your ceiling box, you know, you just kind of keep track of that. Now I can undo these wires here, and I know the power's off. Okay. Man, that's kind of odd. This one, the little screw thing came off right on the wire nut again too. I don't know why it did that. Usually that doesn't happen. We'll take that one off. And see, I'm going to take this module and I'm going to put it in that other ceiling fan. I'll have to get a little pair of pliers because that little springy goodie on there fits inside the wire nut. Sometimes I guess those come off. I've seen it happen before, but not generally as a rule. Okay, so I get a pair of pliers, undo that, and I'll bring that module down and show you a closer look at it. Now here's that module. See, you got the black and white wire coming out over here. That's your power from your ceiling. Black to black, white to white, simple enough. And on this side, usually you've got a blue wire on here, but if it's a different color, you just look on the side of it. And see, right there it says 4 light. And that one says 2 motor. And that one says 2 motor. So see, the wires that are coming up from your actual ceiling fan, coming up your extension, once you hook your ceiling fan up in there, you're going to hook the white to the white, the black to the black, and the blue, if you've got a light kit, to the blue. These two are going directly up into your ceiling box. Okay? And then usually your mounting bracket up at top has a little green ground wire on it, because you don't see any green ground wire here, do you? Usually that has its own, and then you'll have a ground wire generally that's installed inside your existing light switch or your light your ceiling box. Okay, now I'm not gonna really mess with this because I don't have the directions. It's really old, but see on this side there's little things in here. There's different numbers. There's 1 through 4. You look right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 is down, 2 and 3 are up, 4 is down. And I'm going to leave it just like that because it seems to work now. But if you have directions, then you would hook that up accordingly to however the directions tell you, or if the hand remote control can be set up certain ways, then you can kind of do that. So I'm not going to mess with those at all. Okay. I'm gonna get up in that other ceiling fan now and hook that up.